Moving on from the first question of logical reasoning drill set number 8, we go to question 2. We still have our highlight tool selected, and we're going to read the question stem first to identify what we are being asked to do with this problem. It reads, the reasoning in the argument above is least similar to the reasoning in which one of the following arguments. So I need to use two highlight colors in our task this time. We're going to highlight the reasoning in the argument is similar as our proactive task, but I'm going to come in with the orange and highlight the word least so that I know I'm going to select the one answer choice that is not similar to the reasoning in the given argument. So we're going to have to read our information on the left. After doing so, we're going to highlight the conclusion, and then we're going to look for answer choices that in the affirmative match that structure overall. But then we're going to eliminate or select the one answer choice that is least similar to the information on the left. So I'm going to just go back to my yellow, and we're going to ultimately highlight the conclusion after reading the paragraph. For shepherds, using llamas for guarding sheep is cheaper than using dogs. To be sure, purchasing a llama can cost $300 more than an appropriate dog, but guard dogs require a year of training, and about half of all guard dogs are lost to disease or accidents before the age of 3. On average, llamas live much longer than dogs, and they require no more than a few days of training. Finally, dogs are expensive to feed, whereas llamas graze on the same land as the sheep. So hopefully you can recognize rather clearly that our opening sentence is the main conclusion of this argument, and everything else is basically supporting evidence as to why llamas end up being a cheaper guard solution for sheep than dogs do. So we're going to keep that yellow highlight and focus on identifying answer choices that do match this structure broadly. So choice A, it is cheaper in the long run to buy a more expensive watch than to buy a cheap one, since a more expensive one will last longer. Well, that's pretty similar. So it's cheaper in the long run to buy a more expensive watch. That matches the structure, so we eliminate it. Next, choice B, an energy efficient refrigerator is more expensive in the short term, but because of the energy savings, it is actually cheaper in the long term. Again, that matches the structure on the left, so we can eliminate choice B as well. Then choice C, employers are well advised to hire people who have experience even if recruitment costs are higher because the increased productivity will more than offset the higher costs. Well, again, we know that they're advised to hire those people even if the recruitment costs are higher because it's going to be offset in the long run. So this too is similar to the structure on the left about the llamas. Then choice D, the new air conditioning agents being used in place of CFCs are more difficult to produce, but they are safer for the environment, so CFCs should be phased out. Well, this has nothing to do with expense. So I'm going to just highlight this variable of the environment in a different color, knowing that's our exception that is least similar, and we're going to select choice D as our correct answer ultimately. But for the purposes of this video, and honestly on the exam, you probably want to at least briskly evaluate choice E by reading it. We read, buying laundry detergent in large quantities requires a larger outlay initially, but is actually less expensive per wash and is cheaper in the long run. Again, cheaper in the long run matches what we had about the llamas, and you can see how by using two different highlight colors, you can avoid getting tricked by these exception tasks asking which is least similar.